Previously on the Dice Girls.
You find a single piece of parchment paper. Drawn on the parchment paper is it's a messy drawing of the same strange symbol that you saw on Sadie's shoulder before she died. You notice a map with a line drawn towards a mountain range.
I remember this map. This is where I was born.
We gotta go there.
Yes, we have to go there.
Hi, good morning. They're having a party. We need to join them. Let's get Kai. Kai, come on, let's go dance. They're having fun downstairs.
What other familiar faces will pop up before our adventurers leave Narstad? What important information will they uncover? And, most importantly, will Triggus get to dance some more? You're about to find out. With sugar and spice and a roll of the dice, you're listening to The Dice Girls.
Okay, goodbye.
Well, thanks, Rob.
We should find Bilric and ask him what he knows about Wulfric.
Yeah, probably be a good idea.
Yeah, I guess so.
Bilric! Are you
Is
here?
that the first time Triggus has got a name right?
Might be. Bilric looks absolutely shocked to hear his name come out of Triggis's mouth. He was standing in a corner talking to some other gnomes, but his face lights up when he sees you and he comes over to the three of you. Well, welcome back. Hi, how are ya? How are you feeling after your night of rest?
I'm feeling good.
Great.
This is wonderful. I'm so excited. I'm exhausted, to be honest with you, but I'm so excited I can't go to sleep.
Yeah, we found a bunch of people.
Yeah, most of them. This is wonderful. This really actually makes me hopeful that not too long from now we'll be able to get home. This scuttle is great, but we don't live here. This is just where we were hiding out. We miss the Walmart woodlands. We want to go back home. So, Verstum's been amazing for for even telling us about this place that he had here, but it's not home, We miss home.
Satan was talking about Wulfric.
Yeah, do
you know Wulfric? We need to find him.
When you say Wulfric's name, a bit of a frown crosses Bilric's face. Well, yeah, of course I've heard of Wulfric. Most gnomes have. A lot of the gnomes. Well, what do you know about Wulfric?
He was bad. Kai's not very eloquent.
That's fine.
If you haven't noticed.
Great.
Some of the gnomes told us that he did something bad, and then he got sentenced to ferrying the dead in the afterlife. That's pretty much all we know.
Well, Sadie said that Wulfric holds the secret to strengthening Asmodeus's bloodline.
That's why she was looking for gnomes, because she's trying to find Wulfric.
Because he has some connection to Asmodeus, supposedly?
Yeah, that's all she told us before we killed her.
That's really weird, guys. I don't know what she's talking about, but most gnomes know of Wulfric. He, like you said, Kai, you're right. He was accused of a pretty heinous crime. It was a huge scandal in the gnome community. Actually, a lot of the older gnomes who were around when it happened, they think he was innocent. He was, from what I heard, I'd never met him. I wasn't born, yet when he was sentenced, but, my parents actually knew him and they always told me that, he was a very intelligent wizard. He was learning quick. He was quickly rising to be, well known for his amazing skills in wizardry. And, he was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And he was a little bit of an odd duck, they said. I mean, he was a little off, but they always told me that he wouldn't hurt a fly. And so I've always thought that something, I don't know what, something was off there. And a lot of the older gnomes feel the same, that Wulfric was innocent. His sentencing kind of rocked our community in a not a good way and kind of caused a little bit of a rift in the people, between those who thought he was innocent and those who thought he was guilty. But it was, so many, many years ago, and a lot of those feelings have lessened by now. So we don't really talk a ton about Wulfric anymore, but almost every gnome here, I guarantee, has heard his story. It was a huge event in our history.
Well, Sadie said that she narrowed down where he is, so he must still be out there.
Is she sure? I mean, not to, I don't know if you got to question her or anything, but once you're sentenced to the afterworld, that's kind of it. There's not much.
She's pretty confident that he's still here.
Huh. Where does she think he is?
She wouldn't tell us.
Oh.
We had to kill her.
Well, yeah, that's fair. I mean, she was, I get it. You know, she had our people.
Yeah.
Thank you for doing that.
You're welcome. I did do a for the gnomes before I killed her. Just so you know.
Miller kind of laughs a little. You know what, Kai? We really appreciate that.
Can you show him the drawing?
Oh, right. Yeah, real weird. Does he know what? Did we tell him what happened with Sadie's body? And
You have not told.
okay, yeah. So lots of stuff happened with Sadie. Every time we hurt her, she glowed red.
Bilrick's eyes get a little wide. Well, that's not good.
Yeah, until when we damaged her so much, the red didn't go away. And then when we killed her, her body. Okay, and then when we killed her, this showed up on her shoulder, and I'd show him the note or the drawing.
That's a weird looking symbol.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen anything like that before. Yeah. I've certainly never heard of red. What was it like an energy? Like a
something.
Huh.
She was glowing.
Yeah.
Glowing red.
And
that's
then
not good.
Then her body disappeared.
What?
Yeah.
Well,
that's not normal.
when she died and her body disappeared, it looked like the energy left her. It's like it left her in just like a ball of light, and it paused for a moment, and it left the house. It just shot away.
Wow, I don't think I've ever heard of anything like that before.
And then Rhakna, didn't you say during the battle that she had been desecrated?
What?
Yeah, I don't know if that was the energy that came out of her or what. She didn't sound like she knew what I was talking about, but I'm able to sense these kinds of things. If an object or a person has been desecrated in some way, and it was coming off of her somehow. Something about her was off.
She also said that her and Wulfric were like best friends, like family, before he did something bad.
That's impossible. She would have to be way older than tieflings even get. Wulfric was sentenced over 100 years ago. How old was this lady?
45?
Yeah, no, she wouldn't have even been born when Wulfric was sentenced 100 years ago.
Yeah, the whole situation was very strange.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Before she died, Sadie, the way she looked at me, I don't know how to describe it. There was just some kind of look in her eye when she looked at me like I was something different.
Huh.
Maybe, I don't know, maybe whatever that thing was, it needs a certain kind of person to possess. Okay, that's the word I was like.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know much about demon possession or anything like that, but if that's what you're dealing with, that sounds like some pretty scary stuff. The energy didn't try to hurt you or anything like that? Did it do? I mean, obviously Sadie tried to hurt you, I'm guessing. This is also strange.
Yeah, it's pretty weird.
She had a lot of notes that we need to give you. Down where she was keeping all of the gnomes captive, and there was a back room where she had all these kinds of notes on something. It must have been her trying to track Wulfric down, I imagine, from what little we know about her. But Bilrick, she didn't kill any of the gnomes that she captured.
She didn't even torture them.
Bilrick looks really confused when you say that.
We should ask Milton what happened while they were in the cellar. Was that his name, Milton?
No, but that's very Triggus to call him that.
That was actually Kim. I can't remember.
His name's Malachi.
Malachi.
Yeah.
I was thinking of El Gnome.
El Nombre. El Nombre was down there as well. You can also ask him.
Wasn't he the one who told us that they weren't tortured?
Yes.
Yeah.
But he could tell us what she was doing.
Most of everybody is here, so that tracks, but I don't get it. Why just keep him down there? What was she doing?
She was telling her congregation that she was killing them, but she just kept them down there.
She was like collecting them or something? Like,
We should give you these notes that we have. I think it's pointed us to the next place we need to go.
oh, where's that?
It's weird. I don't know what to make of this, but it's my hometown, or at least somewhere near it. she has one of the pictures she had was of the joined peaks that were near my hometown. That's almost all I remember about it. I was taken away from there when I was very young, but I think something's there. We have to go there.
I know there is a city there. I mean, I don't know much about. I can't remember what it's called. But I know there was a war. I know, man, probably when you were a little kid, I would guess. Rhakna, there was a war that revolved around the city and something, we were a little too far for news of that to reach us, and the war didn't last for very long, but be careful there. I don't know what it's like now after the war. I don't know. That kind of thing can change a place. I don't know how much you remember of your hometown, and I don't know anything about it, honestly, but just that rumors that things might be a little different there. I would, if I had to guess, I would guess that Verstum probably knows a lot more about that city than I do. I think his folks might have been from that area.
Really?
Yeah. Maybe talk to Verstum before you leave, he might be able to give you more information about the city.
Oh yeah, is Rom here too?
Yeah, he sure is.
Yeah, you guys should get the mark removed.
Yeah, that's she makes a good point. I've gotten so used to seeing y'all with the mark of the betrayer that I didn't even occur to me. But yeah, you should probably have Rom remove that before you go on your next adventure. I don't know that it'll serve you any purpose after this. And if you need it again, he can always give it to you again.
Hopefully not.
Agreed.
Well, hey, Rom, can you forgive us?
Rom he's not really socializing with anyone. He's kind of just overseeing, and watching the festivities. He doesn't look super, amused with it. I mean, obviously he's happy that everyone's home, but he looks tired. And he gestures for you to go over to him. He's not coming over to you.
So we go over. We go see Rom.
Well, welcome back. It's thank you for everything that you did. It's good to have you back.
Good to be back. Was anyone going to give us money for everything we've done?
Ignore him, Rom.
Romulus kind of cocks his head a little at Triggus. Well, I'm certainly not the person to talk to about that, but I assume you're going to be rewarded handsomely.
Okay.
You did basically save all of gnome kind.
Yes.
Actually, we were looking to get our marks removed.
That is a fantastic idea. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. And we can just do that right here, even. So, it's very much the same as when Kai got hers removed. He, first to Rhakna, he leans in and whispers into your ear, "I forgive you." And your mark of the betrayer slowly disappears. And then he leans in to Triggus and whispers, "I forgive you."
I forgive you as well.
He looks real confused for a second, and then he kind of he smiles. "Thank you, I think." It's very gracious of you.
You're welcome. Did I get my eyes back?
You did.
Oh,
yeah, you're back to normal. Okay. But all of you. What's next for our famous adventurers?
We're gonna go talk to Verstum.
Shall we hug first?
Triggus, I'm not much of a hugger. How about a handshake?
Okay, that works for me.
He holds out his hand to shake your hand. You guys have done good work here. It sounds like you had quite the encounter. I've heard little tidbits of what went on. Sounds a little crazy.
Yeah, it was a little crazy, yeah.
Yeah, I'm hoping that Talon's team, I've been told he's going to take a team back to Timbertide, and hopefully they'll be able to help take care of the rest of the church, because, we can't have them coming after the gnomes again just because they're, what was she called? Their goddess,
high priestess.
Just because their high priestess is gone.
What about that one guy?
Carmax.
Yeah, he's still out there.
Yeah.
Talon knows who's left over there, and it seems like he and Guile have a pretty solid plan to try and take care of things.
Okay, goodbye.
Well, thanks, Rom. Thank you for your help, Rom.
Yeah, I mean, if there's anything else I can help with, I've been around for a little while, so I'm willing to help you in any way I can.
They just slowly back away.
Hey Dicelings, it's Becca, your DM, here with a couple of announcements. We don't have a pre-produced promo this week, but I do want to tell you about our friends over at Chaos Conductors. They are a Twitch channel who plays D&D every Sunday at 5 p.m. EST. Jordan and his crew do such an amazing job. They're such a pleasure to watch. The characters are like super charming. The story is absolutely gripping. I love the NPCs. The community they're building is like just so friendly and welcoming and incredible. If you're not following, if you're not supporting, if you're not watching them, you absolutely should be. Take my word for it. You will not regret it. Go check them out. They again are Chaos Conductors, and you can find them at twitch.tv/Chaos Conductors. You can also find them on Twitter at Chaos Conductors, and we just simply adore them. Other people we adore are our new patrons. We have 3 new patrons this week on Patreon. We want to say a thank you and welcome to Hyone H, Vince J, and Keegan G. Y'all are awesome. We also got another eel mail this week. I'm super excited for this one. It's so adorable. This one is from Hyone, and it goes out to Mooney and Raven. And Hyone says, I love and miss you guys so, so much. Thank you for putting up with my constant podcast fangirling. Also, I just wanted to throw money at these guys. Well, Hyone, we certainly appreciate it. Thank you so much. You're fantastic. And Mooney and Raven, it sounds like you have a wonderful friend in Hyone. Real quick, just to keep you updated, we do have our Clips episode coming up next week. It's going to have all the most important moments from all of the episodes that we've done so far to kind of like string the story all together. It's going to be a great jumping in place if you want to introduce someone to the show. It's going to be a great place if you want to catch up with the show and you're like a couple episodes behind. There's definitely going to be spoilers. But if you want a quick way to catch up, that episode's going to be a good one. And then after that, we will get back to our regular campaign where our adventurers are headed off to a new place to take on some new adventures. Another cool thing that we have coming up is an April Fool's Day one-shot that we are going to be recording and releasing to you guys. It is coming out on April Fool's Day. So that means on April Fool's Day, and this is not an April Fool's, you are going to get 2 different episodes of the Dice Girls. You're going to get our campaign episode, and later on in the day, you're going to get our April Fool's Day one-shot. We're all super excited about it. We can't wait for you to hear it. It's gonna be fantastic. I'm going to wrap things up here. I just want to say thank you everyone who's tweeting about us, who's using our hashtag the Dice Girls, who is drawing fan art of us. Oh my gosh, that blows my mind. Who's supporting us on Patreon, for coming into the Discord and chatting with us. You all are the most amazing people. We don't know what we would do without you. Honestly, thank you so much for being so incredibly cool and awesome. And now we're going to get back to the show. I'll talk to you next week. All right, so y'all awkwardly walk away from Rom.
Should we show him the picture?
We gave it to.
Did you give Bilric the symbol or just the rest of the papers?
I feel like we gave him the symbol too.
We should have the symbol so that we can ask around.
But he should too, though.
Maybe we draw him.
Maybe you drew an extra one?
Yeah.
Yeah, here.
Yeah, on a napkin in
Yeah.
the party.
Does this look familiar?
Are you talking to Rom again?
To you? Yeah, sorry.
You like turn around. Hey, by the way, we thought of a question we wanted to ask you.
This is so painful.
Yeah, have you seen this symbol before?
Rom takes the napkin that you have drawn this symbol on.
in this because we didn't have any colors, we just wrote yellow, purple,
Okay.
blue.
Yeah, got it. He studies it for a minute and he looks, his eyebrows furrow. He is silent for a moment and he seems a little frustrated. I've seen this somewhere before, a really, really long time ago. And I can't remember where or what it meant, which is really frustrating. I have a great memory. Where did you see this?
It was on Sadie. when we killed her, it showed up on her shoulder.
Was she the leader of the
Yeah, the high priestess.
It showed up on her when she died?
Yeah, it wasn't there until she died.
That sounds like some kind of illusion magic, but why would she be covering this symbol up?
I don't know. It was all there. We also found a drawing of it in her bedside drawer.
With one of the figures circled.
The small purple one.
Can you ask your mom?
You know, I haven't seen my family in hundreds of years, so no. I'm guessing not.
Wow. I almost just said you're really old. But I stopped myself.
Can I copy this down so I can study it? Because I know I've seen this before.
Yeah, just know that where it says yellow, purple, it was actually colors.
Okay.
We just don't have crayons.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to find
Triggus
some.
is still trying to find some crayons.
Okay.
Do we know that Rom is hundreds of years old?
I mean, he just now told you that he hadn't seen his family for hundreds of years.
Okay.
You would know that elves live to be a very...
Oh, that's right. He's an elf.
He's an elf.
All I remember is his pointy nose.
Yes, he's an elf with a pointy nose. And elves live for a very long time.
Okay.
So he, when he says he hasn't seen his family in hundreds of years.
Do you know the story of Wulfric?
I do know the story of Wulfric. What I know of Wulfric is, probably the same story that most of the other people have heard, just that he was accused of a crime. He was brilliant. He was very bright. If I recall correctly, everyone was real shocked to hear what he did. And then even more shocked was that he seemed unflapped by his accusation. He didn't seem upset that his whole life was over. From what I recall.
Ron, we keep hearing that he was accused of some crime, but no one said what it is. Do you know what it is?
Yeah. Wulfric was accused of capturing and torturing tiefling children for a new spell that he was supposedly working on and using them as test subjects to create new magic. And when it was found out, it was, as you can imagine, horrific. I mean, tieflings already don't have the easiest go of it, and to find out that someone was kidnapping their children was heinous.
That's bad.
Do you know what kind of magic he was trying to accomplish?
I don't think I ever heard that part of the story. I never really asked around about it. It was just such a shock to the people I had talked to about it. And he's kind of like glancing around a little bit, like almost like he doesn't want people to overhear the conversation. But yeah, I from what I remember, he wasn't shook at all by his sentencing.
Thank you, Rom.
Anytime. I'm glad to help.
We slowly back away again.
He takes down a copy of the symbol and he says, I'm going to start doing some research and try to figure out what this symbol means and where I would have seen it, because that's going to bug me. It's going to really bug me if I don't find out. Maybe it means nothing. I don't know. We'll find out.
Well, thank you. Let us know if you find out anything.
I will. I sure will. And he actually turns and, he exits the conversation this time.
We don't. So maybe that's why Sadie was mad at Wulfric, because the tiefling children.
Doesn't it kind of sound like she was doing the same thing that he was?
Yeah. But she wasn't just using children. She took any gnome she could find.
Maybe she's trying to do magic to figure out how to bring her siblings back, or her children.
She didn't torture anybody. If Wulfric was torturing people, because some people seem to think that he's innocent.
Maybe he wasn't torturing anybody, just like Sadie wasn't.
Let's go talk to Verstum.
You find Verstum in the middle of the dance floor. Yeah.
My guy.
Yeah. He's enthusiastically dancing with a group of gnome children who have just taken to him instantly. They adore him. So he's they're all in a circle. They're holding hands and they're all kind of dancing around in a circle together. And the little gnome kidlets are laughing and squealing and having a totally awesome time.
Hate to interrupt, but Rhakna's brother, can we speak to you?
Verstum laughs. Hey, Triggus, how's it going?
Good.
You want to join in? We're having fun here.
I will.
Two of the gnome kids reach out, they let go of each other's hands, and they reach out and they take Triggus' hands. And now you're spinning in a circle with everybody else.
And now we're just laughing at Triggus.
Ring around the gnomies.
Actually, Verstum, we were hoping we could talk to you for a minute.
Yeah, sure, that's fine. And he says, all right, you guys take over. You've got this. Wimble, you be in charge. And Wimble takes over basically in leading the song and the group around in a circle.
Can I continue in the circle, but then just keep my head turned to the back so that I can hear the conversation?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
You stay in the circle. They try to let go because they figure that you're gonna want to join the conversation.
Okay, I must dance.
They laugh and smile and clap and then grab your hands again and you're all going in a circle. Well, Verstum wipes a little bit of sweat from his brow because romping around with kids is exhausting. He looks at the two of you and gives a nod to Triggus, who's rounding around, and says, "I feel like I'm in the presence of heroes. You guys,
You are.
You know what, Triggus? You're right. You all are fantastic for what you've done. I'm in awe. I don't know what to say."
Say thank you.
Thank you. He laughs. Thank you, Triggus. Thank you.
Well, thanks, Verstum. Actually, this might seem a little odd, but I was hoping I could ask you about the town your parents were from, the city beneath the joint peaks.
I know the city that you're talking about. My parents aren't from there, but I had friends who were living there. It's Asylum is what it's called. And like I said, I had friends living there when the war broke out. It was pretty gnarly. It was not a good time. Luckily the war didn't last for very long, but it's definitely a little different. But it's still there. It's still going. They're still doing what they set out to do when they first started the town.
What did they set out to do?
Oh, well, I don't know how much history you know about Avrin, but up in the northwest where Asylum was founded, the humans and the orcs didn't always get along at all. You see, they were at war with each other constantly. And the city was founded by a human and an orc who fell in love and couldn't tell anyone about it, So they decided to go and start their own kind of hidden little village, basically, where they could be together and no one would judge them. And after a couple years, they went out and found other human and orcs who also were in their situation as well, and invited them to come live in this beautiful mountainside city, where they could live in peace. And it was that way for a long time. They kind of built up this little community of humans and orcs being together. And then of course half orcs started being born there, and it just was a thriving, growing little community. And it was hidden, and the war broke out when it got discovered by the orcs, the rest of the orcs in the area, who just, again, that was forbidden. That wasn't something that happened then. So, that's kind of both the humans then and the orcs kind of attacked Asylum, and it was pretty nasty. It was short, but it was a really nasty war. A lot of people. It was tragic. I mean, you had families fighting family members, and neighbors fighting their neighbors, and it wasn't pretty.
I think Rhakna just has a really hopeful look on her face, and she's listening super intently.
The high priestess of the tiefling cult, she had a picture of the peaks, and it was circled a bunch, so it seemed like she was interested in it, but I don't see how it connected to her mission or whatever she was doing.
Well, I don't know. I know that after the war, Asylum, became a town it obviously wasn't hidden anymore. So, it became a town that anybody could move to, not just, orcs and humans and half orcs. So I don't know. There could be anybody or anything there that she was looking for. You should probably, I bet we could find you a wagon for this one, because it's a little bit of a long journey. It's probably it's probably a 2 weeks journey by foot. So That's not something we could get you there a lot faster, I bet. I bet Rom has a vehicle or something. I know he has a wagon. He's probably willing to let you use it if you need it.
Yes, we do need it.
Yeah.
And Triggus saying stuff while he's spinning.
Yeah, Triggus as he passes around.
Yes, wagon.
Yes, we need.
Yeah. Man, if you all are headed to Asylum, I'm a little jealous, to be honest. I haven't been there in quite a while.
Come with us.
Well, Triggus, I sure wish I could, but I've got my playhouse I gotta stick around for. We're putting on My Fair Ogre this evening, so we I gotta stick around for that. I'm real dedicated to this playhouse here. It's, I think, important for Narstad to have, so I'm gonna stick around here. But thank you very much. You guys have good luck on your journey there. I haven't been there since I haven't been there since before the war broke out, but I'm hoping it's a better place now that it's able to be what it's meant to be. So it seemed like a pretty good place to be before.
We need supplies before we
You should go say hi to Bart.
go. Oh, are we in that world? In that land?
Yeah, Bart is the blacksmith in Narstad.
Oh my goodness.
Haven't seen him since the date.
Just kind of ghosting him.
You kind of did.
For like a couple weeks.
I think so.
Because, like, wasn't that before? That was before our training montage.
Yeah, it's probably been over a month. Yeah, it's been over a month since you've seen Bart.
Whoops. Well, thank you, first up, for all your help.
Yeah, no problem. Let me know if you all need anything. Triggus, if you're still in town tonight, we've got My Fair Ogre playing. We'd love to have you open for us.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. That offer's always there. And he bops off, he rejoins the circle of children.
Does Triggus stop spinning in the circle of children?
I'm still spinning.
Kai, this is a lot to take in. I want to leave as soon as possible. What do you think?
I mean, I'm pretty well rested, so I feel like we could leave as soon as possible.
Triggus?
I'm ready.
Well, we should see if we can get this wagon and get all of our supplies together and hit the road as soon as we can.
The three of you head back to Rom because Verstum had mentioned that he might have a wagon.
Yeah.
And when you ask, his eyes light up and he nods vigorously and says, yeah, absolutely. You're free to use it. I know it's quite a journey, I believe. And I've been thinking about this symbol. I can't remember where I saw it, but I wonder if Claire knows anything about it.
I didn't even think about Claire. Oh my god, we gotta talk to Claire.
Rhakna's eyes get wide and she gets really tense.
So Rom leads you to the wagon and he tells you that it's fully stocked with like rations and things that you might need for your travel. And then he heads back to the scuttle.
Let's go talk to Claire.
So you make your way to Claire's hut.
Rhakna is in the back of the group and is looking sheepish.
Kai knocks on the door.
Can you make that character decision for her?
Kai knocks on the door.
Okay. Claire answers the door, and when she sees you, she smiles up at you, all three of you, and says, welcome. Come in and have a seat. And she gestures inside.
We have questions.
We have weird stuff that happened.
If I recall correctly, the last time we met, you each promised me a favor in return for information, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
I would like to cash in on those favors before I give you more information. I have a favor from each of you. Rhakna.
Rhakna's, oh my god. Okay, Rhakna's like looking at the ground and as soon as she hears her name, she kind of like jumps a little and she kind of looks up at Claire sheepishly.
Rhakna, your favor is to continue protecting that which is not yours.
The gems.
The gems that I totally remember having.
Claire repeats herself. Continue to protect that which is not yours.
So you can't sell them to Rom.
But Claire, I'm sorry. I'm sorry about.
She shakes her head and holds up her hand like, the past is gone, my child. It is nothing.
Thank you.
Triggus, I haven't seen the fireflies lately. Find them.
I will find them.
Tell them that all is not lost.
Okay.
Kai?
Yeah.
Tell the high priestess she is wrong.
The one that I killed?
She will find you. Oh. She is wrong.
Okay.
I am prepared to answer one additional question from each of you in exchange for another promise of a favor.
Can you tell us what this symbol is?
So you put the symbol on the table.
Yeah. Push it towards her a little bit.
She touches it with her hand and she closes her eyes for a moment. When she opens her eyes, there are tears in them. This is the most emotion that you've ever seen Claire display. And she says, the first and beloved families, they suffer greatly. Cities are being destroyed. The nightmares are real. The shattered walk the earth, but all is not lost. And she pushes it back to you.
Claire, when we fought Sadie, I sensed something about her. With my divine sense, I was able to tell that something about her, she felt desecrated to me. She didn't know what I was talking about, but she had this weird red energy leave her when she died.
Desecrating a living creature is one of the darkest things that can be done. Only a deeply evil creature is even capable of such a thing. Being desecrated would alter the fabric of who you are.
Whoa.
And she looks to Triggus.
Do you know where I can find some crayons?
She smiles at you and looks at you. Wimble. As is her way of telling you she's done.
Leave, please.
She gestures towards the door and gets up and walks back into her back room. And the three of you get ready to set off on your next adventure.